there, I'm Claire Embry, your host for today, here in Tampa, Florida. We're in a National Historic District called Ybor City, known as the cigar capital of the world, or as the locals call it, Florida's Latin Quarter. I'm standing in front of a national monument called the Immigration Statue, which shows the essence of where it all began. During your tour, you'll savor the taste of four influential cultures that helped shape this town: the Spanish, the Germans, the Italians, and the Cubans. We will bring the flavors and history of Ybor City into your home through the eyes of four great tour guides today, who will bring you an unforgettable experience. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your presentation of four cultures, one historical town. Thank y'all.
Hi, I'm Cindy. I'm going to be your guide on this portion of the tour. I know that you've already enjoyed your cafe con leche and your Spanish shortbread cookies, but I'm here to talk about the Germans' role. Now, I can tell you that I am a Tampa native. I was born and raised here, and I remember coming to Ybor as a small child with my mom and sometimes my grandmother. My great-granddad worked here in Ybor, and we'd come here and join him for lunch and then do some shopping afterwards. What I remember most about this is that all the shopkeepers spoke Spanish. So I knew about the Italians being here, I knew about the Spanish, I knew about the Cubans, but the group I was not familiar with was the Germans. Close to the turn of the 20th century, there was actually a group of Romanian Jewish merchants that moved into Ybor City. Many of these merchants came here to escape religious persecution in their own country. So when they arrived here, they found that they identified a lot with the Cuban patriots. We're standing right now in front of the Tangra nightclub. Originally, though, this was the Steinberg's dry goods store. Edward Steinberg, the owner, was actually known as one of the princes of 7th Avenue and one of the several merchants that brought dry goods into this area. Mr. Steinberg so identified with the Cuban cause that he raised quite a bit of money and donated it to Jose Marti, the famous Cuban activist. He donated it to his cause, and Mr. Marti was so grateful that he ended up throwing a huge reception in Mr. Steinberg's honor to thank him for his involvement. As you're walking down 7th Avenue here in Ybor City, you'll notice that many of the merchants, the original merchants' names are up at the top of the building. As you can see, Mr. Steinberg's name is up there. So I knew about the Cubans being here. I knew about the Spanish. I knew about the Italians. The group I was not familiar with was the Germans. However, had I paid attention to the names of the stores that we actually went in, like Esrig's Fabrics, Cat's Department Store, Wolfson's Trim Shop, I would have probably not been so surprised when I learned about the Germans' role in helping to settle Ybor. Okay, so we're now sitting here in front of Arturo Fuente. This is a cigar shop. It's been here for over 3 generations. The same family owns it. So this is definitely a family that worked with the Germans. Now, even though the cigar factories were all in place when the Germans arrived here, very few of them worked in the factories. They were the supervisors, they were bookkeepers and accountants, but there was a group of German lithographers that moved in here, and they met with all the factory owners, and they convinced them that if they put colorful, pretty bands around the cigars, if they put bright colored, some with pretty pictures on the cigar boxes, that it would actually draw people's eyes and they would purchase more cigars. So we know that this came to fruition. We can thank the Germans for turning cigar labels into the art form that they've become. there was another group of Germans that started the Tampa box factory that was located here in Ybor City. In fact, it was about 6 blocks south of where we are right now. They not only manufactured all the cigar boxes, but they also packed them with cigars and got them ready to ship out. Okay, so we've moved down 7th Avenue a little bit, but as you can see, I'm standing across from the King Corona cigar shop, but they are actually have the Arturo Fuentes cigar sign hanging on their building. This sign has been here for generations, and as you can tell, they definitely worked with the Germans when they were here in Ybor City. I'm standing in front of a cigar store still on 7th Avenue, and this is a store that sells the Arturo Fuente cigars. I'm actually right in front of not just a label, but a mural that was created for the Arturo Fuente family. It shows their founder and all the history that they brought into Ybor City. So, you know, I'm starting to get hungry. Let's go savor the flavor of Germany. We're here at the Tampa Bay Brewing Company. This is a family-owned restaurant that's been here in Ybor City for about 30 years. They not only make fabulous food, but they actually brew their own beer. And we're going to go in here and savor the flavor of Germany. So come join me. So, as I mentioned, today we're at the Tampa Bay Brewing Company. As you know, wine is very important to the French, so is beer to the Germans. And we come here and we always have something that has to do with beer. Some days it's beer battered chicken, today it's beer cheese soup. This soup is so good. We love coming to this restaurant. It's one of my favorites on our tour. It's family owned, second generation. They make really good beer here. And anytime we come, we have something beer related. Beer battered chicken wings, the beer cheese soup, pretzels with a beer cheese sauce. It's all fabulous. So glad you were able to join me today as we savored the flavor of Germany through food. I'm standing in front of the gateway. This gateway welcomes you into Ybor City. Actually, the gateway is not that old. It was built in 2008, but it's to commemorate 7th Avenue and to becoming one of the nationally known 10 great streets of the United States. The archway was built in commemoration of the ironwork that the Germans brought to Ybor City. You can see it not only in this archway, but also in many of the balconies on 7th Avenue and throughout Ybor. In fact, you will see a similarity to the balconies here on 7th Street with those on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, and the similarity doesn't just stop with the ironwork. Ybor City is quite famous for being a wonderful party town at night. You really can't match it anywhere else in this area. Okay, so I hope that you've enjoyed touring with me today through Ybor and learning about the Germans, their culture, their food. We're so looking forward to you coming here and visiting with us, enjoying the nightlife, enjoying our food tour, and savor the flavor of Germany. I'm Cindy, I'm your tour guide. Look forward to seeing you.
Welcome back! I hope you enjoyed your Ybor City virtual food tour, where our knowledgeable tour guides Raymond, Cindy, Christy, and Ashley took you on a mouth-watering historical journey. I'm back here in our historical district on the steps of our Casita homes. This is where our first immigrants actually lived while working at the cigar factories for Mr. Ybor himself. As you can see, Ybor City has so much to offer with all the vibrant festivals, the rich culture of our town, and the great tasting food. We only want to whet your appetite more to visit. Come celebrate our town with us. We have several food tours to choose from and so much more history to share. I'm Claire Embry on location in Ybor City, hoping to see you on a few more tours in the future. 4 great cultures, 1 exciting town. Thank you.